Hello, what's up guys? Your boy Zaruryu is here and welcome to another Lord of Nazarick video. And in today's video guys, we are going to be showing you all the upcoming characters that we are expecting in Global and C next. And we are going to say what they are, showing the new meta and telling you what is to prioritize and what to not. And which characters, what they do and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed the video and let's begin. So basically, we are getting next after Lucky's, as you can see here. After Lucky's, we are gonna get the event limited, as you can see, Lupisregina. With this event that you can only get with sigils, that means your gems. You cannot summon on it with rings. You can only summon with gems, and it will have a 100 guarantee character. So after 10 multis, you will get the character guaranteed and some variants rewards as a reset character and a heart and all of that rewards along the way. And basically, she is going to be the queen of Bleed Team. Bleed Team is, as you can all know, and understand, Bleed Team is a team that inflict bleed. Bleed is damage over time and it depends on the attack percentage of your character. So basically, Bleed Team is really good and can kill your enemies with the debuffs instead of the high numbers of damage that you will inflict. They will die instead for debuffs that is called a bleed. Like as we all know, bleed and shock. We have bleed and shock and poison. All of these kind of elements that exist in any gacha game. And here we have bleed and we have shock, as you may all know. So bleed and shock is very good, like metas. It can be used, especially in PvE. It has a lot of varianted and it has a lot of usage. So basically, on the bleed team, the queen of them all is going to be Lupisregina, as we all see in here. And after Lupisregina is coming, they are going to put the whole bleed team that you can complete it all back to back. They will put a rate up, a rerun of the lizards. In case anyone missed Zaruryu, I highly advise to summon on him and trying to get him, because Zaruryu is not only good in PvP but also good in PvE, and he will be always in the metas. In case you want any stall team and you want anything to do with your team, either in PvE or PvP, he is the best support on the whole game. Even with the latest character that came out, Zaruryu is on top of all of them in supporting. He is the best support that the game has created, and this is my personal advice, and you all are free to do whatever you want. But my advice is to get him, because you will never regret getting this guy. He will be so annoying and help you in a lot of tough situations. And after the rerun gun, Tank Demiurge will come after them immediately. So Tank Demiurge is the lead team king as well. If she is the queen, he is the king. He is the key system also of the bleed team because of how strong a protection and sustain that he have for your team. He can get you a clothing, a damage clothing. It's called the vampire clothing, something like that. Blood clothing, sorry. And this blood clothing, he put it on everyone but himself, basically your allies. And you will take 15% less damage from the enemies, and he will also be protecting your team, go and taking every damage from the enemy team when you ulti with him. And also when you ulti with him, he will be immune to anything like any debuff, freeze, stun, any of these purify stuff, all of these debuffs, all of these stuff. He will be immune for them when he is in the winged state, and he gained the winged state when he does ulti. And it's not only that, he also inflict bleed on the enemy, and he also can lifesteal depending on his max HP. There's a lot of stuff that this guy can do. He's so powerful in the bleed team and also outside of the bleed team, because he doesn't only provide for the bleed team, he provides for allies. But why he is so good at, and why I call him King of Bleed, it's because he inflicts a lot of bleed with his winged state, which is AoE, and it's on everybody, and you can spam it, and you can inflict AoE bleed on all the enemy targets. So that's gonna help a lot, also spreading bleed. And the more bleed the enemy has, the more he can actually convert them into HP for himself. And he also boosts his own max HP by 18% at the beginning of the turn. So basically focusing HP on this guy is the best option, and he's a freaking monster when it comes to protection and when it comes to being immune to anything that will come in his way. You cannot freeze him, you cannot stun him. He will go and take this damage from your team and they can't do shit about it. They only can try to nuke him, but like stun him or purify or anything else will not work on this guy when he is in his winged state. So basically his wing state is kind of broken. And then Intoma is going to be dropping like behind them, and she is going to be your single target bleed character. She's very good with her swarm debuffs. Her swarm debuffs is special and doesn't exist with any other ally. This swarm debuff will help a lot in the enemy's bleed debuffs and will let them take more bleed damage, and that will be so good using her along the team. But she is not a must at all. You can skip and put Cocytus instead with his captain skill, and it's going to be fire as well. But Cocytus is an AoE one, like with his AoE, he can inflict an AoE physical, but Intoma can do some good and decent amount of damage with her single target, and she is basically like similar to other single targets. As we all know, she's a ranger after all. She's going to be a ranger, red ranger, so of course her damage is going to be decent and it's going to be good. So if you want this single lead target ally in your team, probably Intoma is a good choice. But since we are having a back-to-back characters, she is the least priority between all the other characters when it comes to who you should guys pull from these. My personal advice, if you want a strong bleed team, you need at least Lupus and Demiurge. You can still either skip Intoma, but having her is really good as well. But if you're not interested so much in the bleed team, Demiurge is the only one who is grabbable in these like characters right here. But she's still very good in PvE, she can do a lot of PvE stuff, and I personally enjoy her and I love her, so it's still up to you. If you love her and she's good for PvE, you can use her. But not not so perfection and so powerful without a bleed team in her side. She still can do a lot of damage and inflict bleed by herself, but it was the bleed team, she's going to be a monster, and without them she's going to be decent. So it all ups to you whether you want to grab the bleed meta, the bleed team. Grabbing these two is the most important one, and grabbing Intoma is optional. Okay, no one ask me should I get Intoma, because it's optional. It's really optional, and it's not up to me to decide. It's up to you guys to decide, because she is so strong as a single target. And of course we are going to we already showed you guys in my videos about her, and she does decent amount of single target. If you see that this is what your account needs, then you should probably go for her. And I'm going to speak what's coming after her. That will also help you decide whether you really want them or you're not, especially Intoma. But like I said, me personally, I'm gonna grab Lupisregina and Demi, and I'm skipping Intoma because I want Demiurge not only for the bleed team but also for other usages. He's so good, and I want Lupus because Lupus, like, it's just Lupus, you know, and she's so strong. I know her capabilities since I played China, and I know that I need her, and I know that I want to use her. She's not a must like, oh, I'm supposed to get her on my account, is doomed. No, that's not the case. But her and like existing in your account is gonna help, okay, and it's gonna be fun to use, and me personally, I want to use that. Okay, so basically we finished with the bleed team. Okay, the bleed team is coming all together, and what will help us decide if we want to build these or no. Basically they will put just one dual rate up in the middle, and this is Taiwan based, it's not global based. Global may put more or less, but global been following Taiwan for a lot, like basically most of everything. So we're hoping that this will be the same. And then these three broken characters are coming back to back behind each others, which is CZ, the tank CZ, and the mage solution, and the mage victim. And this is basically how it's gonna be after these teams. So for people who doesn't have a lot of gems and you wanna save, my advice for you guys, my advice especially for C players or global beginner players that just started the game, My advice is to skip Lupisregina, skip Inoma, just grab Tank Demiurge for your team for later compositions, for later PvP teams, and also in PvE he proved to be so good. So he is going to be helping your team a lot because they are more broken, okay? So you basically don't want to waste your gems here. What you want to do is skip and just get Demiurge because Demiurge is gonna help you a lot. Like I highly recommend Demiurge, okay? And after that, then you can start. You need all of these three. Like these three are unskippable. You can skip them, but it's on your own. Like it's on your own safety. It's on your own mind. Like it's not up to me. It's up to you. It's your account after all. But it's at your own risk. You wanna skip? It's your own choice. But me personally, I highly recommend not to skip any of these three because all of these three right here will give you a new word in the game. They will give us variety of more options. Not only in PvP but in PvE. Both PvE and PvP we will have variety of options. The game will not be limited when these characters start dropping. Why it will not be limited? Because these characters provide stuff that doesn't exist in the game before. Each one of them provides stuff that you really need, and it will really help you progress and do stuff that you didn't even imagine it was possible to be done this way. And why is that? Why I'm speaking like this? It's because CZ will give a lot of damage for your team. She will empower the magic damage, which these two characters are magical damage characters, so she will empower your magical damage characters. And not only that, she also take damage, she reduce damage, and she gives a lot of buffs, which is called the supply. And if you don't know what it does, go to my video about sneak peek about CZ. I spoke all details about it. You will understand how much beautiful and how much helping this character can be. And not only that, with solution dropping, she is the turn meter queen, and I'm not even joking, because she doesn't only reduces the enemy turn meter, she also reduces her own, and she also revive a character. Okay, she can basically reduces the enemy turn meter by 25%, which is the best percentage of slow that have ever existed in the game. And not only that, if any ally started before solution does, they will like turn meter boost for solution by 50%, so she will move next no matter what, how much speed the enemy does have. You understand me? And not only that, when an ally dies, she will revive him as a slime, and if you kill an enemy, he will survive forever. If you don't, he will die, but she will give you the option to actually keep an ally alive, which is a mage and can do that, which is huge. And let's not talk about the debuffs that she inflicts, the damage that she can do. Like, oh my god, a lot. I have sneak peek about all of them. If you guys are interested in any of them, I have a sneak peek episode. It's a playlist full of all the characters. You can go and see. I explained fully about all of them. And Victim is Victim. Victim is a nuke bomb. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Victim is the highest EE damage that you will ever see in your entire life. Like, he is gonna do damage that you haven't even thought it is possible. Okay? With his second skill mostly. And not only that, when he dies, he sacrifices himself. And if you have his arc, he's gonna live again. And when they kill him again, he's gonna sacrifice himself again. And the sacrifice damage deal a lot. Like the least that it can does, it's 80k to 100k on all the enemies that he's sacrificed. His second skill, we tested it before on stream. It can deal, if it has buffers, it can deal up to 800k to a million. So you should understand how broken this character is and how to prioritize your gems and your summons. You're going to ask me now, yes, so if he does this much damage, I should 6-6 him? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Of course, 6-6ing him will be like perfection and it will make him stronger. I'm not gonna say no. But there's a lot of characters that are broken. And if you're an F2P, you can't 6-6 all of them. And all of them give unique stuff, and all of them have their own timing and their own meta. So basically, I don't advise anyone to 6-6 anybody. Just grab a copy and go from Bond and Dispatch, try to 4-star them. You can even 5-star them. Like, most of my 5 stars in the box that I have in my account are from Dispatch and Bond, not from summons. So you can achieve that. You just have to wait longer than Whales does. Whale does it at the same time. We have to wait days, like weeks for it, sometimes months, depends. Okay? But it's still not worth to waste all your summons, because as we all can see, it will drop Zeshi and Benison, and there's some reruns you might need. Also a rerun for Maid in case someone wanna grab her. Like, there's a lot of stuff that will happen that will cover your judgment, and you can save enough for all of them if you go into six people. So grabbing one copy of Arclight and character is more than enough. In Arclight, sometimes if you see you don't have enough ticket, buy from the shops. Dismantle the Arclights that you see unnecessary and buy their Arclights from the shop. All the rings character, the normal ones, what's called limited, are ring summons, okay? Just understand it. Limited are rings. That doesn't mean that the special limited, okay, event limited, is the one with only gems, but limited is rings. Everyone is with rings, limited right here. You can grab the Arclight from the shop. So if you couldn't get it and you have enough dust, buy it from the shop, it's okay. But only event limited, the one with gems, you cannot buy their Arclights, you have to summon for it. Okay, it's only with gems as well. So be careful what you do. And now, before we leave, the final advice and the final explanation about all of this. Basically, if you're asking who is worse and the priority, like for me personally, this is my own personal priority list. Okay, the priority, especially for beginners, new who doesn't have a lot of gems, is to grab Demiurge and to grab CZ, Solution, and Victim. One copy, and that's it. Don't even do anything more. That's it. Okay. And now for also F2Bs, but who saved enough diamonds, like who have a lot of diamonds and a lot of rings already saved up, grabbing Lupus, Demi, and the other three here is a good choice for you. Okay. And now for the whales, you grab all of them. Like that. So basically this is all I wanted to talk to you about, guys, in the upcoming banners and in the priority about them all. And it's all up to you and you're deciding. I don't have the right to tell you what to do. All I have the right to do is to advise you and tell you from experience and from what I tested myself. And the rest, at the end, judgment, it's all up to you. You decide what is fun for you and you decide what you want to do. I have a PvP showcases for all of the characters that is coming in the game. I've shown them in my streams and in my videos. You can go watch that. And I will also stream the finals on China on the stream when it comes. So you can also come see the characters performing and you then can judge for yourself as well. So good luck for all of you and I love you all and I wish you the best of luck. So that was it for the video. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that it helped. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your boy Zaruryu was with you guys. Peace.